Hello and welcome to Marketing and Margaritas. Today is one of our shorty soundbite episodes where we bring you FAQs, thinky bits, just random stuff we thought we'd share with you. Today we are talking how to streamline your content creation. So this is often a hurdle for a lot of people, even just getting started with your social media and content. So we thought we'd share some tips on how we get it over the line and make the best use of our time.
That's it. I think it's about being effective about the way that you do it, because if you sit down and you're like, okay, I'm going to update the website, I'm going to write some blogs, I'm going to do some SEO, I'm going to do some socials. If you don't have I suppose these tips are kind of to help you get started on that process a little bit quicker and smoother, because if you do just sit down and go, right, I'm going to do it, it can be a little bit
that blank page
is
scary.
daunting. Yeah, exactly.
Look, we get that too, and we do it every day.
Yeah, 100%. So these are just some helpful tips to streamline that process.
Okay, so the first one off the rank, because we are planners and organizers, is a content plan. So you sit down, you plan out your content for the month, what you're going to do. Sitting down in one go makes it a lot easier. You can break it into segments and work out what you actually need to pull together once you have a plan.
And I think too, it's just when you have your topics as well, sort of thing. If you're just sitting down, you're we talk about this all the time. It's I haven't posted on socials for a month. Oh, I need to get something up. Oh, what am I going to write? You know what I mean? That's really hard. Whereas if you go, okay, I'm going to first of all just plot out, if
we
it's a month,
3 posts a week.
That's 12. I've got to come up with 12 posts.
Not so bad.
I'm going to do 2 about clients. I'm going to do 2 about staff. I'm going to do. And then when you start breaking it down like that, it's sort of, then you're not just sitting there thinking, what do I post?
Yeah.
It's kind of you give yourself some guidelines. And when we have some structure, it actually makes it a little bit easier to get started, but also makes it sometimes we're a bit more creative when we've got some guidelines to work into.
Yeah. And the content plan goes for other things outside of social media, obviously. If you do a regular blog on your website, if you have any newsletter, if you go, right, for the month of December, we're going to cover this, this, and this in our e-newsletter, then you've already got a plan and you can start to collate as that happens. But if you don't know what you want to talk about, this is where we can go to the next point.
That's right. What a lovely segue. It's almost like you knew what I was going to say. So second one is about doing a brainstorm. So that's grabbing your team or grabbing a wine, whatever works easiest for you, maybe both. And sitting down and having a brainstorm together about content ideas.
Yeah.
So this is a once-off thing. This is not when you're sitting in front of the computer going, I need to write a blog. But this is, get everyone together, get yourself together, whatever works, and work out whatever content ideas come into mind.
Yeah. Make
a big list of it in just a Word doc or a Google doc or something.
It doesn't have to be something you'll use there and then. Just anything, any ideas you've got, throw them on paper.
So I always say, go through what each of your services are, because that'll spark all different ideas.
Yeah.
Think about your industry, that'll spark ideas. Go through your website, all that kind of thing. And just make, as big of a list as you can, and then use that for inspo. So bookmark it, or, have it in the folder where you keep the rest of your content, in your content bank or whatever, so that when you are sitting down to create content, you open up that list. And I know for me, having that list, 9 times out of 10, I don't actually use one of the topics I've thought of previously. It sparks an idea for something else.
Yeah.
And it gives me that hit of inspiration that I need, so that I can just sit down and start writing, as opposed to sitting there looking at the screen going, I don't know what's happened this week. I don't know what to write. Not that I ever feel that way about my content or anything.
A bonus one for that point is if you build it into something you do regularly. So if you have a weekly team meeting or a monthly toolbox meeting or something like that, and you have a topic that is hey, anyone got anything they would like to share or that is worth sharing through our content, whether it be on your website or your socials. And that way it's kind of top of mind for your staff and your team when they're doing something.
That's a great idea. And again, it's just involve, if you do have a team, make use of them, man. It shouldn't just have to be you, because you're the one responsible for creating content. Crowdsource those ideas.
Yeah.
And because good ideas can come from anybody too.
Fabulous. Our next point is to keep inspiration. So if you see something you like, screenshot it, save it for later. If it's the way someone's written an article or just the style. The content might not be relevant to you or your industry, but if you like the style, take some inspiration from that. If you like a visual element from a social media post, take some inspiration for that. Have a mood board, whatever works for you. Keep it somewhere you see.
Even just a topic. If you see someone and they posted about XYZ and you're like, oh, actually we could do that, or here's another way. You know,
or if you get
instead of having
questions
to remember it, screenshot those things and keep that inspo folder.
Yeah.
With could be FAQs, things other people have written, whatever, in that content bank again, so that when you go to sit down, again, it's just like a bunch of ready-made ideas to get those creative juices flowing so that you don't have to be, starting from scratch.
Yeah, no more blank page fever.
Yes. Oh, God, that would be nice. Okay, so next we have a listicle. So
I was just like, what? But it'll make sense. Hold your horses.
As I said, I'm doing this one because I was like, I thought you would laugh when it came up, and then I laughed. Anyway, listicle. So a listicle is basically an article that is a list.
Uh-huh.
So really useful for website content. So if you think of like if we were putting together like our top 10 favorite apps for creating content.
Boom.
That is a good article for someone.
Yes.
Like for them, that is a summary of tried and true apps that they can tried and true. That's not how that goes. Tried and tested.
Listicle's not a real word either. So, let's just throw out the dictionary today.
So is a word.
And then dictionary.
But yeah, so basically it is good for the user because it's interesting and quick and snappy and it's still informative and useful and all that kind of stuff. But for you, you've literally just written a list and maybe put a sentence beside each thing. It's a super quick way to put together content.
Yes. And it's diverse. You can use it across your different platforms as well. It's snappy.
And if you're linking out to other stuff as well, like obviously backlinks are better SEO, but linking to quality high traffic sites has still got an SEO component to it. So yeah, good for UX, good for SEO.
Fabulous. Another point we have is have a visual. So working from your visual as a starting point can make it really easier.
Yeah, I just find like if I go through like a stack of images or whatever, if I look at all the visuals, that helps spark ideas for me.
I haven't posted about that in a while. Or, that's a great photo. How can I tie that in?
As opposed to sitting there going, what am I going to post about? It's like, well, go through my camera reel. What's happened lately?
Yes.
Basically.
So we all have a camera on our phone. All your team has one in their pocket.
Everyone remembers to get photos all of the time.
We are.
No one is bad at that.
Not guilty of such a thing. But yeah, so try and do that more. We're taking on our own advice today in particular. So give that a go.
100%. And so lastly, I find this one, I know it can be scary for some people, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. But the easiest, quickest way to create really super engaging and good content is to go live. So going live is obviously it's video content. So video does really well on socials. It gets pushed more. When you go live, because it's not like a professionally done video, it's not like people expect it to be all edited and everything. So, even though you want to have the best lighting and sound quality and stuff that you can.
And a clear picture, so clean your camera lens.
All that stuff's really important, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be like HD level quality that we're used to.
No, we're not putting it up on a cinema screen. No one expects that.
That's it. So if you haven't posted in a while and you're not sure what to do, use one of those tricks to find your topic, and then say doing a Facebook Live gets that post done quick and easy for you. So, and it's something that if you do a little bit more regularly, it'll be really good for your reach and you're being more in the algorithm, and there's just so many benefits and you should do it.
Yes, we all should.
Okay. I'm like, when was this? I was just had to come back and be like, I did one the other day. I'm like, no, actually, I did a pre-record. So I can't actually remember last time I did a live. All right, I'll try and do one next week.
All right. Well, anyway, we hope you guys got something out of today's soundbite episode on streamlining your content creation. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.